Okay, well, thank you very much mga kaibigan, countrymen ko po dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, East Malaysia, and very specific. Dito tayo po sa Kota Kinabalu City. Ito po si Nico Fabian once again dito po sa programa natin, NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And of course, I'm inviting all of you to participate or join in my July 4th, July 4th edition po, no? Today is Friday, thanks God, it's Friday. Yesterday, I wrongly mentioned the date. I mentioned July 4th na po, but it was still July 3rd. And I made some greetings para sa mga American friends natin po because July 1st is the Independence Day of America. Advance yun po kahapon. July 3rd pa lang kahapon, July 3rd, and today is the real day, Independence Day for the United States of America. To President Ronald Trump, I would like to say salute and Independence Day, Happy Independence Day to you, to your family, and to all Americans po. Be it in America or elsewhere in this world po. It could be in Malaysia, it could be in Cambodia, Myanmar, it could be in Indonesia, it could be in Brunei, it could be in the Philippines, Korea, or anywhere po. No? As long as you are Americans, NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, would like to extend my greetings to all of you. Saludo po sa America for celebrating their Independence Day today. And we hope everything will run smoothly, not only in America but also in the world, since America is the superpower, no? And this is the country that is policing the world in terms of trying to keep in order ang political, economic, and security aspect of the world. Okay? So, tuloy tayo po sa programa natin, itong NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And of course, we will be touching in my program today some of updates regarding what is happening in the Philippines. And very particular po, I will be touching on the updates of Tatay Digong or former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, or otherwise known as PRRD. What's the latest? What's the latest po? Title natin dito sa episode natin today is mga balita kay PRRD, or the news of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Alright, to start with, I will share with you a footage. I'll share with you a footage interviewed by a Filipino in the Hague, dyan po sa detention center, outside the detention center of Tatay Digong. It was an interview with no other than the lead counsel of PRRD, si counsel, a lawyer, Nicholas Kaufman. And he is giving us ang latest updates regarding the case of Tatay Digong or his client. And alright, be ready. I will share with you this video clip and listen carefully po. After that, I'll be touching on, I will be sharing with you other footages po, which is also related to the situation of, sabi natin, PRRD when it comes to the complaint put forward at the International Criminal Court against him by the victims of EJK, extrajudicial killings. In the meantime, let's listen to this interview po. Very fresh po, only this morning. Very fresh po. Okay, let's listen to this.
The former president is in good spirits. How's our former president attorney? Well, I told you, he's in good spirits. I've just come out from a legal visit with him here in the prison. Attorney, my first question is that what's the effect of the report by Senator Marcos not being publicly available on the Senate website, given that it was referenced in your motion to challenge with respect to jurisdiction of the ICC? What is your comment on this? Well, I believe that the report has now been restored to the official website. I'm not going to get into the legal arguments. As you may be aware, the prosecution have argued that Mr. Duterte is a flight risk, and they base that inter alia on the argument that he has expressed through his counsel that his surrender to the court was essentially an illegal rendition. We believe that the report counters that. We believe that raising an argument as to the legality of the surrender is a legitimate legal argument. But once again, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it. This is litigation, and litigation should be conducted in court.
Yes. Thank you, Attorney. In light of the Department of Justice Secretary Remulla's recent admission that key evidence in the drug war cases was allegedly destroyed and the subsequent decision to cede jurisdiction to the ICC, what is your comment on this?
Well, that's Secretary of Justice Remulla's claims. Once again, I'm not going to get into the truth or falsity of that. What I do know is that my client, Mr. Duterte, had nothing to do with destroying any evidence. Destroying evidence is a criminal offence. It was not done, and it was not done at his request on behalf of him. Let me make that very clear.
Sir, Attorney, given the claim no available evidence exists and it is allegedly destroyed, to prosecute former President Duterte domestically, what evidence will the ICC rely on to pursue the case?
That's Secretary of Justice Remulla's claim that evidence was destroyed. I don't believe it. He might believe it, but I'm telling you it's not true, and it was not done. Now, regarding the evidence that's going to be brought by the ICC prosecution, I'm not at liberty to disclose that. It's all confidential, and it would be wrong for me to disclose that to the media.
Attorney, do you think that is a legitimate concern or politically motivated?
I don't understand the question. What do you believe that's politically
That
motivated?
destroying evidence may obstruct justice or perhaps sort of cover up. Do you think that is a legitimate concern or politically
The former
motivated?
president did not destroy any evidence. No one on his behalf destroyed evidence. I'm not going to get into the argument as who destroyed evidence, but destroying evidence is a criminal offence. My client did not commit criminal offences. He's here facing charges that he did commit criminal offences, that he was responsible for an illegal drugs war. That is not the case.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney Cristina Conte warned that any country agreeing to adopt former President Duterte for interim release risk being seen as a safe haven for a despot or a murderer. What is your comment on this?
Well, I try to ignore the ramblings of Cristina Conte because it's really not quite good for my karma in the morning. But I don't know what position that lady has. She calls herself a legal assistant to counsel, that she's on the list of counsel at the International Criminal Court. I know that she's in communication with the Office of the Victims at the International Criminal Court. I believe that her comments, if they're true, I haven't seen them in the media yet, would be basically interference. And it would be unethical interference with the litigation that's currently being conducted on the subject of interim release.
Attorney, in light of the court's decision to dismiss your request to disqualify Judges Ganso and Flores, do you intend to pursue a motion for reconsideration to that?
No, I'm not going to. As I've said yesterday, that there has been new information which has come to light. I can't disclose that information, but it does affect the whether or not I would want to seek reconsideration of the request to disqualify. I don't believe there's a need for that anymore.
Attorney, I hope that you'll be able to answer this question. Can you walk us through some sort of a daily activities inside the detention facility of our former president, now that he's been here for 113 days?
Well, his days are occupied by legal visits and family visits. That's all I can say on the matter.
Attorney, a resolution has been filed urging the House of Representatives to oppose efforts to grant interim release and repatriation of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Will this have any impact on your request for interim release?
I don't want to comment on politics. I'm a lawyer. I deal with legal matters.
Attorney, the DOJ has offered protection and assistance to witnesses in the case against former President Duterte. This seems to be in contradiction to President Marcos' earlier statement that Philippines would not assist in any way. Malacanang now says that it isn't direct cooperation with the ICC. Do you agree?
Once again, that seems to be touching on politics. If witnesses come to court and they've been paid to come to court, then we will establish that when we cross-examine them.
Does our former president have any message to the Filipino people?
Respect the judicial process. That is his consistent message. Unfortunately, it seems that from some of the comments that you've been presenting me today by supposed counsel or legal assistance at the International Criminal Court, there is some form of non-respect for the judicial process, especially if comments are being made that countries offering Mr. Duterte interim release are basically offering a safe haven for despots.
Attorney, just to wrap this up, do you have any message to the Filipino people aside with what they have established respecting the judicial process?
Once again, respect the judicial process, respect the judges. We are confident and we're working towards bringing the former president home.
Thank you, Attorney.
Okay, that's it. You heard it from the lead counsel of Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the former president of the Philippines, on the issues of the complaint against him, no? Against Tatay Digong, who is now under the custody of the International Criminal Court in The Hague, dyan po sa Netherlands. Talking about destroying of evidence as a claim or alleged by no other than the Department of Justice Secretary, si Crispin Boying Romulla. Now, Nicholas Coffin said that he don't believe that his client, PRRD, destroyed the evidences. No? So, klarong-klaro po, if you look at how this lawyer, Nicholas Kaufman, when he replied or he answered to questions given to him or asked for his comment po, he talked directly po. Wala yung maraming mga pasikot-sikot po. Straight to the point, that's how he answers all questions raised to him by any media man or any reporter. Since day one until now. Now, he keep on repeating and urging all the Filipinos, including other parties concerned, particularly Attorney Conte, na respect the judicial process po. Respect the judicial process of the International Criminal Court po. Because the way how he look at it now, based on what he said, na medyo there is a question, po on how this Attorney Conte is giving out a statements po, statements to the press, So let's wait and see po what's the latest developments. Other latest developments are regarding Tatay Digong sa case dyan po sa The Hague or dyan po sa International Criminal Court, of which he is facing a complaint by victims of the relatives of the victims of the extrajudicial killings po, allegedly po, and he's due to attend also the September 23rd mentioning or hearing of the complaint against PRRD. All right, we also I also heard about or read about the news from the Philippines that the request of PRRD or Tatay Digong po about disqualifying two judges of the ICC for reasons of bias, and it was announced early this morning here in Malaysia and also in the Philippines that the ICC court has rejected, disapproved the request of the side of Duterte po. No? Although si Counsel Nicholas Kaufman did not mention this thing po. Maybe the interview was done before the announcement. Now, I just want to inform everybody, particularly mga Filipinos dito po sa Sabah, who is very eager to know what's the latest developments regarding this thing, this issue po. Now, it is confirmed that the request was disapproved. Or it was disapproved. I will be reading some or a news article regarding this issue po, no? To confirm po. So, hold on. Saan na yun? You hold on, ha? Alright, I want to I will read this thing, ha? This news article coming from the GMA News Online today po. And the title of the news article is ICC Plenary. No bias found in 2 judges, Duterte sought to disqualify. Okay, nandito po ang detalles. The International Criminal Court Plenary of judges found that no bias arises in respect of the 2 judges that came of former Rodrigo Roman Duterte sought to disqualify from his crimes against humanity. In the full decision published on July 3rd, and that was yesterday, the plenary said that Judge Rene Adelaide, Sofia Alapini Gonzalo, and Judge Maria del Socorro Flores Yera acted in accordance with their duties at all times. Accordingly, the plenary of judges, acting unanimously, considers that the Rome Statute recognizes that Judges Alipini, Gonzalo, and Flores may exercise the functions against or assigned to them, it said. It said that it found that no appearance of bias or lack of impartiality arise from the ordinance or ordinary exercise by the judges of legal function against or assigned to them under the statute in respect of 2 separate legal decisions. The plenary rejected Duterte's disqualification request in June. The full copy of the decision was published on the ICC website on July 3rd. Duterte previously requested that Alapini, Samsao, and Flores be disqualified from adjudicating on the issue of jurisdiction, saying this will ensure the autonomy and irrevocability of the judges as well as the efficient conduct of the proceedings. Duterte is currently under the custody of the ICC in The Hague, Netherlands. The confirmation of the charges will take place on September 23. In an interview with Super Radio DZBB, Central Law Executive Director at ICC Accredited Counsel Gilbert Andres said that ICC will also release the filing of the document containing charges. This is today, July 4th po. Today yan po. No? Maaga pa kanina itong news. So, anytime today, we will be having some updates regarding this DCC or the document containing charges, which, according to Andres, will be released today. He said this is similar to the information filed when charging individuals before Philippine courts. So, I will be sharing with you also a footage on this thing po later on. And before I will give you the footages, I would like to share with you another news article po, no? Another news article po, and also related in the ICC issue or complaint against Tatay Digong. The title of this news article is hold on, ha? Okay, ano ba yung title, ha? Let's see. ICC prosecutor submits 11th batch of evidence versus Duterte. Versus Duterte po. And nandito po ang detalles. The International Criminal Courts or ICC office of the prosecutor has submitted the 11th batch of evidence against former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte for his crimes against humanity case in connection with his drug war. Based on a document that dated July 1, the prosecution team presented over thousands of pieces of new evidences to Duterte's defense team, according to a report on GMA Integrated News, unang balita on Friday, or today ito po. This move was part of the rules of procedure and evidence of ICC. Among the new pieces of evidence presented are the killing allegedly committed by the Davao Death Squad or DDS during Duterte's Davao City mayoral stint, and the killing in a barangay clearance operation during his presidential term. Philippine authorities on March 11 assisted Interpol in serving a warrant of arrest from the ICC against Duterte for crimes against humanity in connection with his drug war from 2011 to 2019. After his arrest, Duterte was transported to The Hague in the Netherlands. Duterte on March 13, Philippine time, entered The Hague Penitentiary Institution or a detention center where he was held while awaiting trial. Yon po. Yon po ang updates natin po regarding ang kaso ni complaint against Tatay Digong. So, hindi na approved the request of the team, the lawyers of PRRD to disqualify 2 judges po ng ICC. It was not approved. And the prosecutor team also yesterday or today submitted the 11 batch of evidences po sa ICC. Anyway, let me share you this footages po para to confirm na this is not a fake news. Let's listen to Attorney Gilbert Andres on the issue po, on this issue about Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the former president of the Philippines. Let's listen to this.
I think 1,042 items. Ito yung mga magpapatunay or magpapakita ng crimes against humanity laban kay Mr. Duterte nung pong mayoralty term po niya sa Davao City. At meron din po doon yung during his term as president po. Kaya yun po ang nialam po ng 10,042 items na to, more or less po. At siguro, Danny, itagtag ko rin, lumabas din po yung desisyon ng buong ICC judges, patungkol po dun sa disqualification application ng depensa. Gusto nila pa-disqualify yung dalawang west po ng pretrial chamber patungkol po sa jurisdiction na dyan. Dinanay na po, pinasuhan na po ng buong judges po ng ICC po itong application for disqualification.
Ngayon lang ba lumabas ito? Decision na to? Itong
July 3 lang, Danny. July 3 lang. Kaya may init pa to.
Alright, this is good news kasi at least, di ba, ngayon lang dito lang sa DCMM yung sinabi, attorney sa aming programa. Tama pa.
Hindi ko masasabing dito lang.
Anyway, pero this is welcome.
Dagdag ko pa.
Sige po.
4th of July ngayon,
Yes.
Alam natin, 4th of July sa Amerika, holiday po siya. Pero 4th of July din po, magpa-file pong Office of the Prosecutor ng dinatawag na DCC. Ano ba yung DCC? I-memorize na po natin yan. Document containing charges. Ito pa yung formal na
DCC, tama?
DCC, document containing charges. Paliwanag ko lang,
Sige.
Daniel, no? Kasi sa Pilipinas, baliktad yung proseso sa ICC. Sa Pilipinas kasi, alam naman po natin, pag mayroong information po, pinafile po yan sa West, sa
Yes.
korte, tapos mag-i-issue po yung judge ng korte ng arrest warrant. Tapos arestado po yung accused po. Dito naman kabaliktaran, i-issue muna ng arrest warrant, yung ICC trial chamber, aresto rin po yung suspect,
Which happened.
tsaka po pailan ng charges na tinatawag na DCC, document containing charges. Kaya talagang antabayan po natin yan.
Okay, so at least,
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po sa abogado, the lawyer of the AGK, extrajudicial killing witnesses po, si Attorney Gilbert Andres. Yun po, si Attorney Gilbert Andres, wherein he announced po, what was the decision of the ICC when it comes to the disqualification request made by against two judges of ICC po. ICC court decided negative. It's not affirmative po. In other words, it was not granted, it was not approved by the ICC court. And of course, he also mentioned about the release anytime today, July 4th. July 4th po. The ICC will release the DCC. What is DCC? DCC is the document containing charges. Yun po kay Tatay Digong or former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. So, the footage that I just a few seconds ago I shared with you po, that was the interview made by DZMM this morning. So, during the interview, now, Attorney Gilbert was in the Hague. Wala siya pa sa Pilipinas po. So, during the interview, he was also asked, si Attorney Gilbert Andres was also asked to comment regarding the interim release request or bid of the camp of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And may comment siya dito po, ang reaction niya po. Let's listen to this. Sabi niya po, let's listen to this. Because I believe a lot of followers of Duterte, including my followers dito po sa NikTok, the Real Talk with Nico, they also want to know, or we also want to know, anong latest development tungkol sa interim release or temporary freedom of Tatay Digong po in the event ICC will grant the request. And it has become a controversial, it's a hot issue po the other day about this bid for interim release po, and countries also were mentioned, and only to find out that what we heard from social media, from the mainstream media, about Australia not willing to adopt Duterte to be a safe haven for him in the event the interim release will be granted. It's a fake news po. It's not true po. It's not true. So far, wala pa po. And everybody is expecting, based on the announcement made by the Council of PRRD, si Nicholas Kaufman, and of course media reports po, decision will be out anytime po within 1 month. So siguro we are already on the second week, siguro before the or end of this month, or maybe first week of next month, August, then we will be able, or we will know ano ang decision, what is the decision of the ICC, whether it will be granted, the interim release, or it will be rejected po. It will be rejected. So, in the meantime, let's listen to Attorney Gilbert Andres when he was asked to comment on the issue of interim release of PRRD. Let's listen to this.
At saka siguro more or less baka last week of August yan, or first week of May, ano lang to, estimate lang to, Pero alam mo, Dani, kung tingnan mo talaga yung jurisprudence ng ICC, wala pa silang nag-grant na application for interim release. Kung ang krimen po na charge ay napaloob Article 5, ano ba yung Article 5 ng ICC Rome Statute? Crimes against humanity, war crimes, genocide, at ngayon, crime of aggression, wala pa. Pero kung yung krimen po laban sa suspect na
Meron, alam ko may ganun di ba? Pero yung mga minor crimes lang to, di ba? Hindi naman
minor crimes lang po, Article 70, offenses against the administration of justice, dun pa lang, wala pa sa Article 5.
Alright, pero parang as far as you're concerned, mukhang malabo na ipagkaloob ito kasi masyadong mabigat yung krimen at tingin nyo he will exert, kasi kung ang rason matanda na at may medical condition, that will not justify ang ICC to act on that parang favorably for them. Kasi nakikita nyo rin ba na pwede siya mag-exert ng influence kasi meron pa rin siyang di ba? Ibig sabihin na nakakausap niya pa rin ang kanyang mga pamilya and they are now holding mga powerful positions in government, di ba?
Oo, Dani, siguro dalawang punto lang, Una, hindi naman talaga grounds, yung health reasons para po i-grant ang isang interim release. Wala po siya sa Rome Statute. Ikalawa, meron naman po mga health facilities available around the ICC. Meron namang mga malalapit pong magagandang mga ospital po sa the Netherlands. Dagdagan ko pa, ikatlong puntos, mukhang napaka-influensya talaga, influential talaga ang mga Duterte, kahit ka dun sa impeachment case laban po sa Vice President, mukhang maantala pa, Kaya ito po ay isang ebidensya na influensya po yung mga Duterte, kaya sana po ibasura tong application for interim release.
Alright, yun po ang reaction ni Attorney Gilbert Andres, who is the lawyer of the EJK victims, mga relatives po, mga relatives ng EJK victims po. Siya po ang he is the lawyer of the witnesses po. Witnesses. So the way he talk is not in favor of granting the temporary freedom of Tatay Digong po. But who is he? The decision must be made by the ICC and not him. But that is his personal observation, personal opinion po. What he gave is his own personal opinion. And he was even saying that Tatay Digong is still very influential po. And that will, sabihin natin, risk to the witnesses. Witnesses po. Risky na po if Tatay Digong will be temporarily released. Temporarily released po. And he was, or he also mentioned about health-wise, health reason is not that really carry weight po. Dahil sa Netherlands or sa The Hague po, they have good facilities, medical facilities po, good hospitals doon po. And if we look at the interviews of the visitors of Tatay Digong, from Inday Sara Duterte to Hanilet, Madam Hanilet, to the children, to the wife, Madam Elizabeth po, all were saying that they are worried about the health condition of Tatay Digong. In fact, of recently, Congressman Pulong also mentioned, I think 2 days ago, or yesterday during my blogging, he was saying that Tatay Digong lost weight already po. Lost weight. And putting him, granting him the interim release po will in many ways also help ang health aspect of Tatay Digong. Because totally it's different po when you are inside a detention center and when you are in a house. Parang house arrest po. At least your movements and then you can ask somebody to cook for you what you want. Especially they can hire somebody, maybe a relative of Tatay Digong, to cook Filipino dishes for Tatay Digong, and it will really help. It will really help po. Hindi naman po si Tatay Digong is flight risk, and that everybody knows. And when you talk about the influence, the Duterte camp were saying it is not a factor po that the ICC should fear because it's out from the country. Although, pwede din pala po si Tatay Digong po take Philippines as the place where he can be so-called, sabi natin, house arrest po, no? House arrest. But according to Consul Nicholas Kaufman, the Philippine government has already indicated that they don't want that Tatay Digong will be returned back to the Philippines. To the Philippines in the event ICC will grant the interim release bid of Tatay Digong. For obvious reasons na po, kayo na bahala dyan po. No? For me, I would say it is very obvious why the present administration, spearheaded by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., they are not keen of accepting Tatay Digong back to the Philippines. Although Filipinos, majority of the Filipinos in the Philippines and elsewhere, mga overseas Filipino workers, they've been shouting for bring home Tatay Digong. Klarong-klaro yun po, bring home Tatay Digong. So, yun na po ang latest developments natin na tungkol sa issue ni Tatay Digong. And of course, mainit pa rin. Still a hot issue when it comes to the impeachment trial of the daughter of Tatay Digong, and that is no other than Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Let's see po what will happen po when it comes to ICC issues, when it comes to the impeachment trial or complaint against Inday Sara Duterte by end of this month. In the meantime, as what the lawyer said, we Filipinos should respect the judicial process po. And not only dyan po sa ICC judicial process, but also dyan po sa Pilipinas ang impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. Respeto po tayo ang impeachment court ng Senado po ng Pilipinas. Once it will push through na talaga po. Whether it will push through or not, we still don't know. We have to respect po whatever decision. Whether it will be dismissed or the trial will continue. Will continue. Shoutout muna tayo kay Edman Lofamia, who is watching ang program natin dito po sa NikTok, the Real Talk with Nico. And God bless you. And hope everything is fine with you today. And of course, Saturday and Sunday. So with this, once again, Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines. God bless us all and have a happy weekend. See you on my next episode. Bye.